want. Very well, thanks for dropping by. Off you go.
So, Lord Toranaga came back to me with a minor update about what Mr. Fox heard is going on at Lucasfilm. And no details, but things are confirmed that Lucasfilm is definitely on fire. Mr. Fox was told that things are extraordinarily messy, not just concerning the Acolyte, but everything at Lucasfilm. And it sounds like the place is being dumped upside down and, cleaned out with a wire brush. The toilet is being fixed and flushed as we speak, and it confirms what Sparrow's been saying. Mr. Fox confirms what Doomcock has been saying. Again, like I said before, $50 million is an extraordinary amount of money for a pilot. And again, the lie being told that it's a series and it's finished is excruciatingly stupid. You'd have to be a box of Samsonite to believe anything that comes out of Leslie Headland's mouth. And if they did, unbeknownst to Iger and the Disney company, just take an IP that belongs to Disney and run away with it and start filming. Now, we were told that Headland had checked out costumes and monies were being given to her into Blue Stocking, UK. But for what? Okay, we don't have any evidence anything more than a 3-part sizzle reel exists. Yet there's $50 million that was in the Blue Stockings UK account that came from somewhere. And this is the problem. The fact of the matter is that it's not just the Acolyte either, even though I do have to make sure Toranaga does put it out there to friend Mr. Fox that there is a lawsuit over the Acolyte concerning a very insulting amount of money, $5,000 to a certain Karen McCarthy, who gave up a job she was going to have with Colin Farrell to take the job, and then they fired her 2 weeks later for no real cause. There was no cause. They had led her to believe that there was an agreement. She had the job, and then they fired her. So that just adds to whatever the hell is going on. Because if they did have $50 million, they had enough to give her a nice compensatory check, okay? And they didn't. $5,000 might be a lot to a dweeb like me, but for someone who's a Hollywood producer, that's chump change, okay? She's carrying that on her arm in the form of a Prada bag, okay? I mean, I'm like, so the issue about the lawsuit is interesting too. Hasn't been asked yet. But what else is going on? Well, let's look at the other issues. Company credit cards being abused by low-level staffers who then in turn flipped on their bosses. who are being questioned now under the bright light bulb in the small room. There's been malfeasance and incompetence across the board. Again, I am going to compare the way Kennedy ran Lucasfilm as to the way John Gotti ran the Gambino crime family. Okay. And again, weirdly enough, a number $5,000 shows up, and the executive assistant that had spent that company money on God knows what, a leather jacket, I don't know, decided to let herself be fired. Okay, this is the issue.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
So, and it's not just the acolyte. Like I said, the corporate credit card accounts were being abused, and that executive assistant who got herself fired or himself fired for stealing $5,000 for her boss or herself, we don't know, himself, wasn't the only one abusing the corporate credit card accounts. Okay. I want you guys to understand that. This is, like I said, this is a systemic issue across the board at Lucasfilm, that a bunch of people there were basically spending money they didn't have and abusing Disney's wallet. Okay, now, again, we do have a smoking gun with the acolyte. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We've talked about that ad nauseum here. We do have now another confirmation through Mr. Fox that, yes, Lucasfilm is in complete chaos right now. And the person you can blame is this woman in the picture. All right? Incompetence, malfeasance, corruption. I mean, why would anybody think when they're given a corporate credit card that they can just use it to go buy whatever the fuck they want? Okay, this is what Iger has to worry about, because if this gets out that one of his divisions, Lucasfilm, was stealing money from Disney, that a show he never greenlit was apparently being kind of filmed, The Acolyte. The IP was basically used without Disney's consent. People are going to look at him and say, what the fuck? Now, he can point to Kennedy's contract and say, I can't fire her for cause. All right? I can fire her for a morals issue, like, again, if she gets caught in bed with a teenage girl, okay, or a little boy, okay, stealing money, or using ill-gotten gains to abuse copyright of something that the company she's running doesn't own. Again, Disney owns Star Wars, not Lucasfilm. Okay, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they bought the IPs. And I think they dirt cheap, I might add. Okay, and it kind of makes you go, this isn't even business as usual in Hollywood. It is, in my opinion. She ran Lucasfilm the same way a mob boss runs his family. She had capos. Her, underboss, Lin-Wen Brennan. Her, consigliere, Carrie Beck. I mean, this is the way that the Gambino crime family was run. Okay? And even then, the boss Look, John Gotti was thrown into jail, in prison, for some stuff he was privy to, for some stuff he wasn't. But because they used the RICO lawsuits again, the RICO statutes against him, he was able to be charged with crimes he really knew nothing about because he was the boss of the family. Okay, now, is that fair? You know, there are former mobsters like Michael Franzese who disagree with me. But when you scratch your head and look at it, that's the way it had to be, all right? Taking these guys off the street was paramount to Rudy Giuliani's ideas on what New York could be without them, okay? And RICO statutes pushed them underground again, okay? All right. Now, with Kennedy, she doesn't have the luxury of fading away. She could have taken her celebration and gone bye-bye, but she didn't. And now she's been banned from the Lucasfilm premises. She's on extended forced leave, and she's got 5 guys from the C-suite digging through all of her email looking for whatever they could find. And they did find something that, look, Hedlund is just part of this. The Horsemen have already had her there once, okay? And I know she was probably given the 3rd degree. Where'd all that money come from? It didn't come from Disney because they didn't give her the green light. Now, I have an idea where it came from because I know what was found. And again, the mafia comes to mind. Okay, these guys, basically, Leslie Hedlund is a racketeer. Okay, think about what the rackets imply: bribery, shakedowns, protection money, etc. All right. So, yes, it's been confirmed now a 4th time that Lucasfilm is in serious chaos right now, and that's all that was told to Mr. Fox, and that to me says everything. Okay, that is a confirmation that yes, we have always been on the right track. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.